o'clock.
Bell.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Call the meeting to order. First thing, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anything additional for the agenda? We have a lot of different times on here, and I'm sure that we're not going to stick totally by them. I'm hoping that a lot of these budget, maybe we're done in 2 or 3 minutes with it instead of 10 minutes, and that it should go a lot faster than this.
I tried to give everybody a fair amount of time in case you had questions or anything like that. I didn't want to cut anybody short, so that's why we did 10-minute blocks. But yeah, I would agree that maybe we.
Mine won't take long, and I'm right after Bill, so.
Okay, now, so it'll vary on the agenda. Your motion to approve the agenda.
Also moved. Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. We have minutes from the June 10th regular meeting, the June 10th equalization meeting, and the June 18th special meeting. Have you guys had a chance? I'm sure I had a chance to read through them.
I've read them.
You've read them?
I'll make a motion to approve all 3 minutes.
Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have the bills. We're kind of lucky nowadays because we get to look at them ahead of time too, so we don't have to study them. I had a question on this, for our new deputy, is it, Bryce?
Yes.
Are we paying mileage for him to go to class, or what's
He's
that
using his
for?
own vehicle.
Okay, but he is our employer already.
That was the academy pays the tuition as long as he's on salary,
Okay.
so we don't have to pay tuition, but we pay mileage because he's using his own vehicle.
Well, I just caught one, Red Top Recovery. That's a
That's
record
a-
service.
Yeah, they towed a vehicle.
Do you know where they told it?
Probably to the impound lot. And then either it sits there until they come and rescue it, whoever owned it, or it just stays there until we decide to sell it at some point.
So who is Red Top?
There, I think I don't.
To the Washburn.
No, I'm Indian. Right on the end of Main Street.
So $512, huh?
Yeah, they're not cheap.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
The one
I've
that's in
seen some bigger
Washburn is a little
bills.
bit
Yeah.
more.
Usually.
Or
Washburn's not doing much
not
anymore.
Washburn.
The one in Bismarck.
We
yeah,
recover that
been-
if they pick the vehicle up, right?
Yes, they have to pay it.
Am I supposed to send this to?
Yeah, both of those. Yeah.
just have to have it.
Okay. I don't know.
I wanted
Could-
to
it
make
could be
sure.
Internally, for most people's use, but I got
Nope.
some tests.
We're good. Should be going.
Cause I know we had issues one other time and it wasn't working, so. I wanted to double check on mine too.
Okay.
Here's the extra ones here.
That's all.
Just don't stand in front of the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That one's our web domain for the website. See, that one's in there.
That's per year. Well, this is the interesting one.
Oh, that's all the publications we have.
Okay, we've seen the bills and signed off. Could I, your motion to approve payment of the bills?
So moved.
First and second, the roll call vote on this. Hud?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Lee? Aye. And the bills, okay. Budget review, Jaden, the budget, would you kind of explain the timeline and what we do with the budget now? We're required to have this meeting in July and then take us from there as far as our timeline.
Yeah, so, budget stuff kind of starts even right at the beginning of the year. I send the department heads these sheets, as far as what they need to request for the coming year in probably May is usually when I send it out to them. I want it back by beginning of June preferably, so I can compile it, get it put together, get it ready for you guys. And then we have our preliminary budget review. And that is just to go over each department's and entity's requests. There's nothing with revenues on today's meeting because I don't have all that information yet either. And then we have to have a public budget hearing between September 7th and October 7th by law. Our September meeting is scheduled for September 11th, so we could technically do it there, or we could have a special meeting, which we have done kind of at the end of September. And then we have the hearing, and then at the October meeting is typically when we go and approve the budget for 2026. And between today's meeting and the public budget hearing, you guys have time to kind of look over and review, and if there's things that you have questions on, that's kind of when we can kind of go over if we need to adjust or.
And which meeting is it that we have a chance to decrease our spending and not allowed to increase?
That would be at the public budget hearing, so between September 7th and October 7th, we are allowed to decrease. And that is more on the mill levy side, so what I would initially bring in as far as how much we could levy, we can decrease that initial amount, but we cannot increase, and that is a little different this year because we're no longer doing estimated tax statements. They changed that in law. There will no longer be estimated tax statements sent out. We don't have to do estimates. I mean, I'll still have to do kind of a rough estimate anyways, so you guys know what we have to work with for next year. But as far as, when we initially send out those statements in August, that isn't happening anymore. We'll send out a budget hearing notice. That is now required by law, but there will be no statements. That only will be in December. But I should hopefully have something for you by the August meeting to see where we're at as far as levies go, because we are waiting now on the state for utilities, which is your pipelines, railroads, turbines, all that. I mean, I don't have those numbers, so right now what I'm going off of is current taxable value that Patty did and previous year's utilities to give me a very rough estimate of what we could potentially have for tax dollars, but other than that, I have nothing concrete to give you. And even that's kind of a crapshoot sometimes, so. But yeah, so as far as our expenditures, we can, as you've seen, we can amend our budget throughout the year. We have done that because your expenditures are a little bit different than your levies. Your levies are, you have to set that in stone that you can't change, you can't increase. You can decrease between August to October, but your expenditures, between now and when you approve the budget, we can adjust what we need to there. And then obviously throughout the year for unexpected expenditures or even revenues.
Okay, thanks, Jane. First one on the list is Linda, risk management.
Asking for a small increase on that, due to the fact that they have changed the reporting requirements to quarterly instead of annually. So that's quadrupled our workload on that. And in addition to that, it has, doing the quarterly reporting will double our annual refund. And this year we got 12,000, so I'm projecting we're gonna get somewhere around $24,000 refunded to us, which is a lot more than what you paid to do.
And that's in your binder stack of sheets here too.
It's under
I just looked at it
42.25.
last today.
So this number here, where it says 42.25.
That's what.
Probably right in the middle.
Any questions on Linda's risk management?
Roughly how long does that take, Rhonda?
Well, it takes 4 times as much this year than it did last year. Because usually I only had to do reports once a year, now every quarter. And we have to do safety inspections every quarter, so every office has to fill out. And if we don't do it, we don't
We
get
don't
it.
get the money, yeah.
So I'm the risk manager Nazi right now, and making people fill out things. And they go, oh, you again.
Yeah.
But in the long run.
In the long run, that's a
Right.
nice doubling. It's going from a 10% refund to a 20%, as long as we don't miss any quarters, and we haven't missed any, so. It's just a lot more paperwork, not just for me, for everybody. It makes them a little more aware of, they're more likely to let me know if there's loose tiles or frayed cords or things that are a liability, especially in the shop. So.
Yeah, Kitty.
Yeah, and it's in your mail slotting mail too, by the way, your next shop safety thing. I just put it in there. That's all I have. So. Whatever you
Okay, I guess
decide,
I don't
the
have any
reports
questions, so
will
thanks,
have
then.
to be done, so thanks.
Karen, we're ready for you. Come on up.
It is towards cabin. Probably need extras. I just gave them a big budget request. Thank you, Alice.
We have our annual report that goes through all of the things that we did in 2024. And then did you give them the opioid letter too?
Okay, completely forgot. I'm so sorry. And I did just get an email the other day about another clinic that is coming in for, I don't know, it's not a huge amount.
$1 and $30.
No, I think it's like 600, but.
The opioid funding is
Interesting.
yeah, that's the only way to put it. All right, so I can go over the budget here first because I know that's what really is very important. And the county request is on the back side. You guys have the budget in front of you. It's in your binder because it's something that you would carry on.
This is how much.
Oh, you gave them that. Okay,
Yep.
here's our full budget. Sorry. You can't do it.
Thank you. It's a little less coming year than it was.
A little bit.
Yeah, so the one thing, I visited with Martin County because they're the ones that have to give me the most money. And I asked what they requested all of their departments to do, and they said 3% increase only on the mill levy. And so I only was able to increase our mill levy by 3%. And for Oliver County, that's only about $500. So it doesn't impact your county a lot. Over all 5 counties, it's a $70,000 increase is what I'm asking for, which is unfortunate because I need a lot more than that, but I'm sure that makes you happy. I'm only asking for a little bit more.
No, I like your report.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any eye rolls yet, so, but we have a lot of shortfalls in our budget for the upcoming year, and I basically just told my board that they needed to approve at least the county portion, so that I could come and visit you guys, and then we're probably gonna have to make some other changes, but we get about 50% of our budget is federal funding. All of that is kind of in flux right now. It was very hard to actually put anything down on paper. So until we know more about what's gonna happen with our federal funding, this is kind of it. And you guys are capped on your tax increases, so also couldn't ask for very much more. I trimmed our expenses as much as we could, but it's definitely a challenging year. I'm looking at doing some fee increases across the board, and then also looking at other ways for our nursing services to be billed to insurance and Medicaid. So those are the only things that I can really do to make a difference with my budget. And then the board did decide that they would like to try to do a 75-cent raise for our staff because we can't really afford to lose any staff right now because training new staff is extremely costly, as you guys are aware. And so that is the budget. And then I also have staying on the budget though, I do need at least 2 of you to attend the meeting on August 19th at 10 a.m. That's when all for you two new commissioners. This is one of the most challenging meetings to convene. I need a quorum of commissioners from a quorum of the 5 counties to attend this meeting to approve the 3.74 number. That's all I need you guys to do. August 19th, so I have it
Time on that?
right there.
And I
10
think
a.m.
we've done some by Zoom, like some of one
Yeah.
of ours has called in by Zoom if you can't be there in
Yeah.
person.
So if you're in Mandan, swing by. If not, there's a phone number or a virtual link that I will get to Jaden to send to you guys. If everybody convenes, it's a 2-minute meeting. If people don't convene,
I've been attending this one.
we know.
If
If we don't have enough people, it takes longer and is very frustrating. But last year we did really
Yes,
good.
it was less than 5 minutes.
Yes. So
What's
in
it called? What kind of
It's
meeting?
the Joint Board of County Commissioners.
Okay.
In Century Code, it's a requirement that all 5 counties weigh in and approve this 3.74 as one. So again, it just needs to be a quorum. no commissioners in apartment counties, but it is a little bit challenging because we have 19 commissioners to try to wrangle. So if you have any questions about any of that though, Jaden has done it now for a few years, so.
In past years, at least one of our commissioners has been on the phone.
Yeah,
I think Daryl had typically
Yeah.
called in.
Yeah, and it works fine to call in, that's absolutely not an issue, but more than welcome to come and hang out as well. And then we have, I just wanted to provide you guys an update with how we've spent the opioid settlement funding so far. We were able to create a youth campaign. It was displayed at the Center Stanton High School on a TV screen. It is through the Living Local Network, and so it's health promotion videos that are cycled through every 60 minutes, displayed. It's in the main communal area by the office in the high school. And that will continue running, that's now theirs, and then the media company just keeps that up. So there's no continued funding for that, and it'll be there for as long as the school wants it. So the funding paid for that. And then also I'm hoping to supply the school with some print materials this upcoming year. And then I listed off some of the other opportunities that we are looking at doing moving forward. To give you guys a general idea. With that, do you guys have any questions for me?
If one of this used to be the Custer House, where that's,
Maybe we should have explained myself. You guys are my third commission meetings.
So here, you got leave behind kits for the sheriff, fire, and ambulance.
Yes,
Was that like a,
Alright, we are finding that these entities, when they respond to an overdose or anything of that nature, really it could be even just a regular fire call, if they see that there's opioids or other concerns in the household, they could leave one of these bags behind. It has Narcan in it that can be used with instructions on how to use it, and then other educational information. Also, these disposal bags are called the Terra bags, and so you just have to dump any unused opioids in the bag, and it basically creates concrete in there, and then you can throw that in the garbage. So it doesn't pollute our drinking water environment, and then also it's not a risk in the home anymore for children to get into or anything to that extent. So looking at providing those, we're visiting with, I think somebody contacted the sheriff here, I can't remember who else she's talked to in our 5 counties, but looking at distributing those across our 5 counties.
then when you meet with the schools, you just meet once a year?
This was just, I just reached out to them and then they implemented it,
Oh.
so it's not an ongoing meeting. But we do, I mean, our nurses in the area do several different things with the schools. That kind of depends on what the school wants, because they don't always want us up in their business, but we are there if they do.
okay, no more questions?
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you guys.
Thank you,
Have a
thanks,
good rest
Aaron.
of your day.
Alice, do you have some info for us?
Where am I at? I don't remember someone. I had the tabs put together. Oh, okay, HR, it is 4193.
Or do you check it?
Somewhere in the middle. Two before the sheriff. That's your old one, Dave.
Oh,
Your new one is in the binder. It's in your binder. Yes.
rolling over HR, what we're looking for, did you find the 4240? Alright, so, just, increase of, human resources expenses would be due to, my increased wage with Mercer County.
And you bill us based on
Hours worked.
hours worked.
Yeah, so this is basically an estimate, so,
Well, that's on hours worked, it's not a straight split.
no, it's just on hours worked by the federal account. So,
So sometimes it's not even as much as we have budgeted.
Worst case scenario.
yeah. So that's just, the HR budget. EM's kind of basically the same thing. It's just, we, bill for 10 hours each month for EM. That's our, joint powers agreement. And, I don't foresee anything major happening in the EM. Still kind of up in the air about some of the grants from the federal government. Hopefully we'll find out more about that. Do you want me to bring up the emergency fund now?
Sure.
While we're talking about EM? Okay. With EM, there is it's called the emergency funding for the counties. And what this does, it's an emergency fund that you can use, you can mail for, you can use for like if there was, damage to any county infrastructure or like a building or anything that was caused by natural causes. It's basically kind of like your slush fund in case something would happen.
Specifically for emergency
Right.
purposes.
You can't use it for wages, you can't use it to purchase equipment. It's, for example, if a road gets washed out due to a flash flood, that fund could be used for that within 60 days of that happening.
This is the one that we did away with.
So we
2
had
years ago?
an emergency
We had it.
levy and it just kind of was sitting there. We didn't do anything with it. There's $3,000 sitting there because you can't take it out of there once it's put in place. With the new caps rules, we can bring it up to technically the max, which is 6 mills for us, which I don't necessarily think we would need to do 6, but we are able to levy for that. And Alice was telling me that in order to qualify for FEMA funding, we do have to have funding in there.
We have,
So we should re-implement that. I'm not saying we should do it to max by any means, but at least something so that way we have,
Access to the FEMA money.
yes.
Well, and with FEMA too, they're increasing their threshold that to get a declaration from FEMA, the dollar amount has increased significantly. So you're not gonna be able to get access to that FEMA money real easily anymore as you used to in the past. So like even like in the eastern part of the state, when they had all those tornadoes, there was $14 million worth of damage that they had so far, and that was just barely over the threshold so that they could get FEMA money to help with that disaster. So I'm just trying to be a little proactive, getting a little slush fund put aside should there be an emergency in this county, that we're not all of a sudden like, oh boy, are we gonna come up with this now? So I would suggest 2 mills, just to, get it built up a little bit. And then once it reaches up to a certain point, you can't mill for it anymore.
so we'd have about 35,000 in there then, maybe, I don't know.
Around there, yeah. Right now, the mill, based on last year's utility numbers, is at like 16.5 or so.
And with the 3,000 we have in there, so.
Yeah, so I would say 2 would be acceptable. I mean, and obviously that would be up to you to finalize that number come October, but I can put numbers together to show you what that would equal to in dollars. But that is one of those where we aren't subject to the 3% cap because we were at 0. And so you can go to the max if you want to, or whatever amount that you need to for that levy. But I believe the emergency levy is also exempt from the 3% cap anyways.
Yes, it is.
So, because it's one of those where it's used specifically for an emergency.
And then that just rolls over year after year. If you don't use it, it just builds up that fund. So that's all I had for emergency management.
for them.
Oh,
You have more for us?
yep. And then I just, I passed around this letter to you, I did email it to each of you. I just wanted to kind of go over it a little bit and see if you have any questions. I just want to emphasize the importance of implementing a meaningful cost of living adjustment. I know Oliver County's never done that in the past, but it's just a way to, make sure your employees are keeping their spending power up to date as other county employees throughout the state. Just remember that if we fall below what the average wages are, according to other counties that are same population size, taxable valuation size, we have to remember about retaining our employees because it's very expensive to train, like Aaron said, and to recruit employees and saying, we're going to start you at this wage when they can go to a private sector for a lot higher wage. So we need to be competitive at all times as an employer in our So as I was doing the research on the 26 salaries, I did notice that there was some positions that were under the statewide and regional averages, but most employees here in Oliver County were pretty comparable with other counties. And then the COLA is based upon market wage adjustments. For example, 1 year, the COLA average for the nation was 5%. So I kind of base it upon that and what we think we should do. So I just request that you consider these proposals as part of the upcoming budget planning process. I'm always here to help you with data, benchmarks, further justification, salary surveys from NDACO, any help you need with the budget for salaries, I'm happy to assist you. And I would love to pay everybody $100 an hour, but I know that's just not feasible. Because everybody's worth it.
I haven't heard a comment on that one.
I'm absorbing
When Laura and Brenda get the printing press back here to pass IRS code, we can do that.
Alright, the one. Fake money.
Oh boy.
Anything else, Alice? Thank you.
Oh, one more.
Oh, sorry.
Got two more. She put it underneath my record stuff. Okay. Just want to update the holiday policy in our manual because now we do have the sheriff's department working hourly instead of salary. And we also do have the highway department, road department work some holidays as well too. So I am asking for approval of adding this to our policy. If an eligible employee works on a recognized holiday, he or she will be paid 2 times the regular rate for the hours worked on the holiday. But that paid time off for holidays will otherwise not be counted as hours worked for the purposes of determining whether overtime is owed for the applicable pay period. Departments that work on the actual holiday rather than the observed holiday will be compensated for the actual holiday.
We've done it, we've paid it this way, we just don't have anything
In policy.
in policy. Yes, and we need that in order for it to, I mean,
Okay.
well, I would just need a motion to that effect to update the policy now.
Okay. Motion on time, holiday, to update our employee manual.
All the rest of that is already in there, it's just the yellow portion.
Just the yellow portion that we would be adding to the manual.
It's Juneteenth and now.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Still trying to take in that Juneteenth holiday.
Yeah, I
Two
know.
of us.
I know.
Okay. Second holiday, your motion to,
I'll make that motion.
second. Okay, now we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? Further discussion, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Fine.
one more quick thing while I'm here today. I developed a standard operating procedure for human resources hiring. And I will be giving this out to the department heads as well. So that they understand what my role is when we do the hiring process at Oliver County. They will also need to fill out this job requisition form before I'll start advertising for any positions. Because I want to make sure that it is budgeted for. Is it a replacement, new position? Is the county commission portfolio holder aware of it? So that we are good to go for advertising for that position. So this will be going out to all the department heads. It's just standardizing the process for recruitment, selection, hiring of employees. The HR will be working with each department head. I'll do the advertising, I'll receive the applications, I'll forward to the department head. We'll go through them, see who we want to interview. And then we'll do the interviews together, and from there, the department can make their decision of who they want to hire. And then once they do select who they want to hire, I will do the background reference checks, etc., and the onboarding for that position. I think there was just a little confusion of what my role was in part of the hiring process, so I just thought I would get this SOP out to everybody so they kind of understood.
Any questions, anything for Alice? Hearing none, thanks, Alice. Jaden.
Okay, and the third page in. I think you've all probably looked at it, so I guess first I would start with, do you have questions for me?
It's always easy to find things in the middle of the meeting.
Should just be the third one.
They should be color coded, shouldn't they?
I mean, I can get a bunch of different colored markers. I suppose I could do that.
How come there's annual sick leave payout on this one?
On mine?
Yeah.
Because of Linda. Linda is not, Linda Nelson
Yeah,
is not salaried. She's not exempt. She gets annual sick leave. If she would quit, we'd have to pay out her annual leave and 10% of her.
that's actually hers, okay.
Yes, that is for her. That's not for me. That is only if she would quit. I mean, this is not a,
That's her accrued, that's an estimate, that's not
Correct.
actual.
yes, that is just a rough estimate. It could be a little bit more, a little bit less.
Okay, let me just
Makes sense.
So I did do a little bit of my own salary study based on what NDACO put out for a salary study. And I did an average of taxable value, population, and I did a statewide average. For counties of similar taxable value, the average salary for an auditor is $60,285. For similar population, it's 67,534. And then statewide, the average salary is 86,744. And now I know statewide, you can't really compare. It's hard to compare because you've got counties with massive taxable valuations, higher staffing levels, higher population. I totally get that, but it's a good number to kind of look at just to see where that position is. And that kind of goes with population too, because even though they may have a similar population, their tax value is a lot higher than ours because of oil revenue or, you know, whatever else that may be. But right now, my salary for just county auditor is $46,000. As you can see, I'm asking for $55,000 to get to a somewhat comparable rate, because I do get paid for planning and zoning, but there may be a day where I don't get paid for that. You know, you guys may decide to change how that position is done, or, you know, whatever, and I totally respect that, but right now that is, I do get paid for that, but the base salary for my auditor position is $46,000. with that information in mind, the workload, and even in just the last year, has increased for this office. It's not just an 8 to 4 job. There are times where I'm here in the evenings, working late, and I would say that time has increased a lot too. Not to mention there will be an increase in workload due to this CAPS calculation. There's a whole new process that I have to figure out for that, as well as the Secretary of State's office is implementing the election system. And I will have to start weekly trainings along with Linda starting this Thursday. And then we will have to attend in-person trainings and implement and do a mock election. So I just, for the time and work that I put in, this is what I'm asking for, and I hope you take that into consideration.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I had court.
No problem, we're surviving without you so far.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too hard.
So I guess if there's any questions, I guess I feel that this is kind of where this position should be at, but do you have anything else for me?
Any questions for Jamie?
And if you did see on the race study that I did that she is not out of line.
These are the numbers that I used. Those are from NBCO, and if you need other numbers, I can get you that survey.
Anything else, Kate?
For my portion, other than, Linda's salary is also in there, so as you can see, I'm asking for an increase on that as well.
Laura, you can join us.
Hi, everybody. You guys have my budget sheets. That should be next on the list.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Kind of doing them.
I'm trying to do them in order as best as I'm able, so yes, Laura is right after mine.
Okay.
Cool.
The only thing that I haven't changed in my
Where do you want
budget
to
is
go?
salaries. I'm asking for an increase for cost of living and a bump up in line to get me to the average of the salary study that Alice did. And then a little bit of an increase for Brenda too. My superintendent's role is the same. My traveling and mileage, my mileage expenses are the same as last year.
That one is 41 to 47 if we're looking for superintendent of schools, but it's separate from this one. I saw that.
Superintendent school, remains the same, okay.
Superintendent of school, you feel they're doing a good job?
It's a hard hitting question.
Yeah. Nothing like straight to the point.
Yeah, right.
Any questions for Laura? I guess that's just all.
All right, sounds good. That was easy. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
I think I logged on you guys for the annual and sick leave payout. Maybe I didn't put a number in there. We will have to account for Brenda's in there at some point because she is also likely to issue. Yep. So we'll just have to put a rough guesstimate of if she would quit
What the payout?
tomorrow, what amount it would be that we'd have to pay out. So, yep.
I believe Vicki went on a heavy.
That's it. I'm gonna keep going.
She's on the ambulance.
Yeah, she's on
right?
ambulance.
Yeah.
Okay. Becky here?
$41.50. This is a new fund because we've never had it separated out before, so.
Any questions for Becky?
No, but I have an observation to make. So, in working with Becky since she took over the position, I have to say she's done a fantastic job. It's a significant improvement. She's professional, she's responsive. When she doesn't know something, she asks for help. She hasn't made mistakes, and this is important from my perspective, as state's attorney, because when you need things to be filed and they get done appropriately, including requests for warrants and things like that, and they're done correctly, it makes my office's job much easier. So whatever Becky's asking for, I don't know because I don't have it in front of me, but she's doing an excellent job. So I just wanted to share my perspective on that.
So saying that, another 10,000.
No, in all seriousness, I mean, the level of professionalism that she exhibits is great. She's good in court. The judges have noticed, which is a positive. There haven't been mistakes made. She's doing a really good job.
Can you explain the contract services license?
For like NRG and all?
I'm pretty sure that some of that is like NRG or some of their software that is court specific that she uses. That would be what that is. I know on the note here it says some like new computer and server. That would be put under the general fund computer budget, but it's worth noting that it is for clerk of court recorder. I don't know now that that's split, that it might be a little different with your computer versus what it was. And I think Rebecca's looking into that, so.
Okay, I think I know a little bit now.
Yeah. Well, thanks. And after your second speech, did you want to go above 10 or were you?
I can say more.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to Dave here. Helen?
Jim was here a minute ago.
He's gone.
He got a phone call.
Do you want me to poke my
Okay, let's go to Patrick.
Okay. So in anticipation of the budget for my office, I did something similar to what I did last year, which is I took a look at where my salary is in comparisons to other part-time state's attorneys of similar counties. And what I found is, again, in comparison with my colleagues that are similar size counties, I'm underpaid. When I compared the number of felonies, number of trials, number of hearings that I've had, of all the part-time state's attorneys with the exception of one, I have the most felonies. This year we've already prosecuted 26 cases, which is significantly higher than this county is seeing at this time of the year. I anticipate that we'll be looking at, at this pace, I would say looking at 40 to 45 cases prosecution is not outside the realm, and the cases that we're prosecuting aren't simple drug cases. There are some pretty serious offenses that we have coming through that require a significant amount of time more than what we would typically see for driving under suspensions or DUIs. So, when I compare what my experience is to other part-time state's attorneys, I have the second most experience in criminal law of the other part-time. State attorney is the one who has more, has 30-some years of experience, and I think that all he does is part-time work now, and he makes $30,000 more than I do a year. With respect to the work product that I've produced since I've been here, respectfully, I think it speaks for itself. But in the end, at this point in my career, I think that it's a reasonable request for me to be bumped up to what I'm asking for. It takes my experience and puts it where it should be. It takes the caseload that I have, puts it where it should be. And I anticipate that there, moving forward, will be more things occurring in the county that will, require more significant work. So that's why I'm asking for a raise again. I'm asking to be paid commensurate with my experience and with the skill set that I bring.
You read in this that you provided us 4 counties, and that's that information isn't in there.
It isn't?
I just have
I know I sent it, yeah.
a letter and then I have this. That's what you sent me.
Okay. I can certainly provide that for you afterwards like I did last year. But what?
Probably that same 4 that you
Yes.
talked about last year, same 4 counties.
Yep, same 4 counties. I'm just asking to be compensated the second highest because I have the second highest amount of experience. When I looked at the number of contested hearings that we have, contested hearings being preliminary hearings. Anytime there's a felony, there's a preliminary hearing, motion hearings, trials. Again, I'm doing far more than the other part-time state attorneys. So, just my perspective, that's why I'm asking. As far as for the legal assistant, I've asked for a significant bump up for her salary. She has 20-some years as a paralegal. That's not why I'm asking for an increase in her salary. I'm asking for an increase in her salary because she can do things without being asked to do them, and they're done correctly. She hasn't made mistakes. We had an appeal. Appeal to the Northwest Supreme Court requires a significant amount of time and energy, and she cut down on the amount of work I had to do significantly by doing research. Most paralegals can't do the type of research that Lauren does. She represents herself very well to the county. I've never heard a single complaint about her from other county employees, from members of the public, and I have no complaints about her. I just wish she would work more hours, but she wants a part-time position.
What are the hours now, approximately?
I think it's 20 hours a week. I have asked her to work more. I haven't asked her. I've asked if she would be interested in more hours, and the response that I got was perhaps, but not if I have to work on Fridays. I think that the work is there to support a 20 to 20, certainly a 20, possibly 25 hours. It's not there for a full-time position. And so, I would not suggest that, but the amount of money that's being asked for her is a fair market value for someone with her experience and what she brings.
She also did take on the victim witness coordinator role
Yeah.
too.
She did, and that's really important. We haven't had a victim witness coordinator, and what I've seen since I started in this role is that we're prosecuting more victim-related crimes. And so when you're prosecuting victim-related crimes, you have to deal with the constitutional amendment that's primarily known as Marsy's Law. And what that means is it gives victims of crimes the right to have more notification of things that are happening in the justice system. State's attorney's offices, if they weren't doing it before, they should have been, but now, especially with that constitutional amendment, it places a burden on our offices to make sure we're communicating much more with victims of crimes than probably many state's attorney's offices hadn't done in the past because it's a constitutional amendment. And again, this is things that should have been occurring in the past. There are statutes that existed that required this, but I have to say that in my experience, in the criminal justice system that wasn't always happening. So now that we have that constitutional amendment, we're sort of put in a position to where you can't ignore that, and you shouldn't have been ignoring it to begin with. But the fact of the matter is, it's there now. When you have to have those additional types of conversations with victims, that often requires doing interviews, communicating with them about what's happening with cases. We have had a couple of cases where I've gotten a number of emails from victims of crimes looking for updates, and Lauren's done a very good job of dealing with those. There was one other thing I was going to say about this and I forgot. Darn it. It was important too. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what it was, so, but the fact of the matter is that increased responsibility also carries with it potential problems if the state's attorney's offices aren't complying, and I have no concerns about Lauren in working with our victims. Of criminal crime. So, these are things that keep me up at night as an attorney, whether it's as my job as the prosecutor here or on the civil side of things, is you worry as an attorney about the things that need to get done being done. And I just don't have to worry about the admin things with Lauren. And I love my staff in my private practice, but I wish that they were as able to work unsupervised. But that comes with all the experience Lauren has. And I know that my numbers, what I've requested, are different than what Alice has requested, and that was why I took the time to write the letter that I did in order to properly express why I believe that the amounts my office is requesting are appropriate, not to diminish what Alice has done in any way. But I've been in this profession now for a very long time, and I know what goes into it, and I've talked to my colleagues in other counties, and I've done the research, so that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
And I promise I will get those numbers to you this week.
Oh.
You had asked for.
Okay, I have them from the counties from last year.
You have them from last year. The numbers are different this year.
They change.
We actually have, I think I have prosecuted the most felonies of any part-time state's attorney at this point, just from last year. So,
okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Oh. Are you gonna speak to Dave? Is Dave here?
I'll go see if I can.
Oh, on another note, I wanted to share something. So, as you guys know, one of the directives you gave to me was to address the road pass issues. I'm cautiously optimistic based on conversations I've had with legal counsel of the companies that we're dealing with that we will be seeing a very large settlement. I'll have more information for you guys by the end of this week. And then there is also the issue that we had with the wind turbine. I had spoken with each of you about that. There is a prosecution going on in that case as well. So.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Dave's not here, so we'll go to I think he's not here yet. Dave's not here.
Karen's next.
Kenny, you ready for?
Yep.
Guys, we're ready for you.
Got a couple things, as far as the budget goes. Alice did the study and forwarded it to me also. Here. I'd like to do,
There's like 4 sheets for the county roads, starting at 4310, fund 2110. And the mark what's it about.
I have a question on that, really.
Yep.
On, 270. Annual sick leave payout.
that would be like if,
And there's been 7,000 budgeted last year, and there's 70,000.
that would be if like Marv decided to retire, you know, and everybody gets to kind of accumulate
Vacation
it.
payout?
Yes,
If they all decided to quit tomorrow,
that's what we'd have to estimate it.
Wow.
Hopefully nobody does that, but
I mean, I don't have in front of me what we had to pay out earlier this year for both Kyle and Ben, but it was a pretty large chunk.
it's pushing 30 grand between the two.
Yes, so this is obviously not something that we're anticipating having to pay, but in the event
Right.
that somebody quits,
Yeah.
yes, we have to budget for it, and it has never been budgeted for before. So,
So in other words, it's up to you to keep Marv on another 5 years?
I told him he signed a contract and he told me some more that I
You don't
won't
wanna say
say. But, so on the budget as far as salaries and stuff, I guess for me, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys, I guess, for mine. I'm not gonna put in anything, but I do wanna put in for my guys. I would like to do something a little different as far as I would like to do, experience based, years of service.
For Marv and G.
Yep. So that way they get, you know, and even for Derek and Tom, I wanna do something, you know, after they're off their probation, but not as significant as the other two guys. You know, that way, I would like to implement, you know, how do I wanna say it, yearly reviews down there, so we have something so they can, you know, look forward to next year, you know, there's something that they can look forward to as far as moving up. Cause I think it, on the morale aspect, it helps quite a bit. And the group of guys we got right now has been excellent. So.
And I could probably work with you on that.
So, I mean, you know, there's a cost of living increase, you know, and then I have some numbers budgeted in my head, you know, and on the computer for the other guys, which I'd like to get together with Alice and break them down and get them to you as far as actual numbers go. In our budget, as far as Jaden helped me with the budget, and since it was my first go around, we actually cut a few things out of there that I didn't feel we needed and that have never been used. So, of course, I left that laying on my desk, so I was looking at it before. And some of it was just projected. I think it ended up being like 160,000 that we took out, but some of it was projected that we never actually received also, so that's a part of that money. So it's not actually,
one of those would be the special roads fund.
yeah,
So that was levied for previously. That levy has since expired and you can no longer levy for that, but we're still receiving prior year's taxes. And so what we have to do is put an expenditure line in there, because what we do is we take that money at the end of every month and we write a check to unorganized roads basically and just put it in there. 10,000 maybe, because we're getting to that end point where those prior year's taxes aren't gonna come in for this anymore, because we're getting to that 3 year, you know, there's only 3 years worth of prior years, so.
right.
Pretty much, yeah. But you gotta kind of account for it, because we have no idea, so.
But, you know, there's stuff like that that was on there, a couple other things that were on there that were never used, or so we kind of did away with them. She was able to look back in previous years and just kind of made sense. So,
I guess the only question I had when I was looking at it today, so when we have that highway tax money.
right,
That's money that we receive from the state, it's a highway tax that comes in. We're projected to get about 300,000 this coming year. The projected expenditures are an awful lot higher than what we actually get in, but that balance carries over every year. It's not a significant amount. I guess the only question I had is we have a machinery line in that line and unorganized road. Is that something that we could consider
That one.
just having one? And if is it enough in the one versus both? That's the only question I have. Cause when I'm looking at what
normally
we
I'd say,
actually bring in.
I'd say yes, you know, this year's a little different because of what we have going, but normally I would say yes, so.
Yeah, just under your supplies, you're 40,000 less.
Mhm.
Any,
It's, you know, a lot of it, you know, like this year we bought tools and stuff. Well, the plan we've got implemented, we shouldn't have to buy tools again next year, you know. We bought some stuff this year to get us up and going that should, there's no reason it won't last years to come, you know, so with the guys helping me and, you know, implementing this stuff, make sure everything gets put back and everything else is taken care of, it should help a lot.
Any more questions? Okay. Okay, thank you. I guess we're.
You want to-
Force that, once you don't leave that.
Yep.
You see Dave is here now, so he was here.
Can I ask a question about the county roads?
No, not yet.
Want to do that?
Yeah, we want to do it.
I have a small mistake here on my Jim and Bill's salaries switched on, I wrote them on wrong.
4211.
The tabs just say what the fund is, they don't have the numbers on there, so we fix that for next year.
Where's it at?
Towards the front, actually.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Somewhat towards the
almost a little bit, no, towards the front from the middle.
right after general miscellaneous.
That's me.
There you go. Now you have this.
Okay, so you got, Kale,
Jim should be at the 7056, and Hale would be at the 6986. We'll just turn around. Switch, yep. Looked at the names wrong when I wrote them in, so.
now, do you feel that's comparable as far as experience and?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I guess, Bryce's salary and then say the next deputy. Bryce is coming right out of school.
Yeah. Just to, like I said, to keep his salary up, like, comparable so that we can get, you know, another officer hired in it. I mean, that's kind of been our issue, our problem of giving some of the applicants is on the salary as part of it. So I figure if we raise that up, and depending on the experience, you know, we'd be looking at both of them at 65.
Do you know what it's, what they start out in other counties?
I know with Grant County and, well, I should actually with Henninger County, their deputies are at over 70.
Starting out?
Yes,
I think their tax value is a little bit higher than ours too.
and Sheridan County is, I believe, right at 63 or 4 it was, I can't remember right off.
McLean and Mercer are advertising these positions at 10,000 less than what we're talking about here.
But they don't have anybody hired either. They've had one of their positions open
Oh, they
for
just-
close to a
They
year.
just started advertising a week ago.
Well, the one position they had
Just
for
to be fair,
over a year.
in talking with my other colleagues throughout the state, everybody's having a very difficult time hiring law enforcement. Salary is a big part of it, but we're not alone.
Mercer County deputy starting out would be 73,440.
Not what they're advertising.
We start at $30 an hour, but we consider $2,448 for their salary.
And that was how much per hour you said?
30.
30, but that contemplates over $400 of overtime.
Those hours are a little bit different than ours.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I
You might have been
guess
looking at-
we're
you might have been
not,
looking at-
we're not money yet, we're just talking, going through the budget today. Yeah, okay, I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's okay.
No.
It's good to talk about, but
Yeah.
it's just law enforcement across the state is just demanding a higher salary, and they're going to get it, and they deserve it.
HP is the same way.
HP is close to 100.
Yeah. Even the dispatch and correctional officers, their wages are going up significantly too throughout the state.
Vehicles.
I'm
Apparently,
gonna kind of let
you're
Jim explain.
budgeting for
We,
two of them in the budget.
That issue may be solved very soon.
Did you want an update on vehicles, or do you want to wait for that till later?
You want him to talk a little bit on the vehicles? He's kind of been heading that
I-
as far as.
I suggest that we wait on that discussion,
Okay.
not to steal your thunder, Jim.
Like, it's
But I've talked to you about this.
Yep.
So I suggest that we hold off on that conversation until the next
No
meeting.
problem, no problem.
With the understanding that the vehicles are what they are. But I think that there'll be a solution to that in the reasonably near future.
Good enough. We'll leave it at that. Okay. You guys have anything else from the budget here that we should discuss?
I made a sticky note on line 641 that we need to increase that to 2,500. That is like the printer equipment like contract that we have with Liberty. And Carrie has a printer in there through them. And we separate that out from the courthouse one, and 1,200 isn't quite enough to cover that. So,
So you wanna bump that up to 2,500?
yes. Cause I think there may be something else included in there, and that's with Jamie, Computer Express, and so that's his services to come and work on her computer, but it's also for the printer. So if you're okay with that, I would like to see that number increase, so it doesn't look like we're overspending that.
Okay, do we have anything else for Dave that we should discuss today? Okay,
Do you have any
questions?
questions on anything else, I guess? Unless you guys do.
No, I guess not. Okay, that's okay, thanks, Dave.
All right.
Okay, have we completed everybody makes it.
I guess I don't know how long the ambulance call may go, so she may not make it back in time, so.
Okay, should we go into the road superintendent and
I think
Keith, next era? Okay.
Keith's gonna be here about 2:30.
Is he actually?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he texted yesterday. Actually, 2:35, I think.
Okay, so next era, ready for project area roads?
So Dave and I met with Mark and Sean last week on getting couple more of the roads turned over. The roads are coming around there. There's a mile on the Hanover Road that you're gonna try and, from the bridge to the church, right?
All the way to Rick Hunter's.
Yep, Rick Huntermeyer's to the Highway 31 and then the rest of 17th, right?
Yeah, as far as that material will go, yeah, we've got a little bit more to put on, out of that yard, on 17th. And we'll stretch that as far as we can take it. So
Okay, were you able, you said you were gonna contact?
we're not gonna look for outside sources right now.
That quarry pit's shut down, so that's why we've kind of been asking you guys if you guys got anything local that we can use for the county stuff, and I don't think we've been successful at that.
Yeah.
But we're also trying to look into, I know you had mentioned the material we got there, trying to look into sift into more of the aggregate of that and try to make it more sustainable for what we need. And
In the laydown yard that's there.
Yeah.
Then we can't forget by Laura Huber's,
Yep.
from her approach to the county road, plus that approach you're gonna take care of.
Yeah.
The approach is double of what it needs to be, they're gonna correct that.
bring in that
Yeah.
radii, that,
Yep. Back to the standard width. And, do you know if he's John had time to look at that approach as far as the water up north? It's on the first tower, on the furthest north tower.
F-14.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah, 14, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Where that water was sitting.
Yes, we've got a solution for that. It's not done yet. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
asking.
he has looked at it, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Were they gonna put a pipe in there or?
Well, he's
Are
gonna
they-
shoot, he wants to get his elevations and shoot the
Okay, he hasn't
elevations.
done that yet then?
No.
Okay. So, as far as that, you here on road?
Listen.
Okay. As far as the Hanover Road and if, once the gravel's put down on, from the bridge to Rick Huntermeyer's, we're good with that. We were gonna like to pull it in the sides, put more of a crown on there, but right now with our grass, we'll end up making more of a mess than it's worth. That's the downfall on that. Like I talked to them guys, Mark and Sean, and Dave was there too. It's just, we would have liked to, like I said, clean that up a little bit, but with the grass, it's not gonna be possible. And from what I understand on 17th, they're pretty happy with the way the gravel out of that laydown yard's turned out. But they would like to see it finished from the last mile and a half there.
I get mixed up with the numbers now, 17.
It'd be Mark Elver's.
That'd be Mark Alvarez, Department.
Yep. So,
Well, overall, I think we had a really good meeting.
yeah,
They have a lot of rocks they want to get rid of, and Katie has decided we could probably use them at the dump shop. Just keep them, Cause with the 3 big culverts we've gotta replace, we're probably gonna need rock. Mark and Sean said they'd work with us as far as getting them over there.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a benefit to us.
Good stuff, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, well, and actually all the pipe will be here this week. We just got 4 trucks today. Yep, so we're planning on starting that Monday. So we're probably not gonna have much of a stockpile, we'll probably be able to use them as we can get them. So, and I've talked to all the landowners and stuff on that road and kind of been communicating with them, so that way and we wanna be able to get it done before people start hauling hay and harvest comes in too, so.
So Mark, I did get one question about if we were gonna gravel the whole Hanover Road, and I told him, yeah, you do all 10 miles. No, I think the discussion came down to,
You are so good at volunteering other people. It is a real skill set. I mean, just the amount of free stuff
well,
we
he
get.
smiled, so I'm doing good. No, the road looks really good, even after getting wet, you know. So the person that brought it up, just, their question was whether we need it. They said, well, either you take a hard packed road like it is now, or you take rock chips. You know, because if you put a bunch of gravel on, you're gonna get rock chips. And I haven't heard nothing back, unless Dave, what's your feelings on that?
I have one question.
Yep.
What are we gonna do with these cut banks and these section lines? They're not being seeded. Whoever sprayed them done a remarkable job. But now, I mean, these cut banks are steep. Are we gonna seed them? Or are they gonna seed them? Or what are we gonna do to hold that dirt?
Yep, that's the last thing that we got, so we got a couple more weeks left, right? We got our punch list from you guys and our remaining service roads. And then coconut matting is gonna be used with the seeding to hold those slopes and get that seed open.
That was my wonder, if we were gonna put matting on them to hold them, or what we were gonna have to do.
Either that or hydro seed with a lot of mulch in it.
Yeah.
They have been out doing hydro seeding, their hydro seeder broke down. Or no, the drill.
The drill seeder.
So they're waiting on parts.
The parts.
So but they have started. So, cause me and Dave went out and looked and drove around with them and.
Cause I don't see how you can hydro seed over all the dead foliage, just
Right,
little slopes either, because it won't be.
But they are,
Okay,
where they're seeding, they are taking and disking it up and reseeding it and then putting that mat down.
what happened?
So
That was the
far,
question.
so far we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we're on roads, okay.
Now I can ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did our road get bumped down to like 35, 45?
On the first part,
Yeah.
the first
the
stretch,
whole, cause like it doesn't make any sense to me because on the one way, if you come from the north going south, it's not marked at all.
that's marked by right to
Right by
the,
Ryan's.
yeah, to the north.
But then like, why
It,
is it marked and why can't we get it bumped back up? Because 35 miles an hour, we're gravel road. It's pretty straight.
Okay, so we've kind of been dealing with 2 landowners that are upset, right? You know
Out of
about
how
that.
many? Because I know there's a lot of us who
Yeah.
are upset at the change.
And I guess we've talked a little bit that once we figure out what we can do to correct that little problem by the 2 approaches, it's gonna go back to where there won't be a speed limit sign, right?
Okay.
Which makes it 55 automatically.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out the right thing to do. We've tried talking to people. It's been, I'm going to say an ongoing battle, but we're going to try to get it figured out. They're actually asking for some crushed asphalt. I'm not sure that's going to be the answer or where that's going to go, but
Again,
first off, we got to find it and then the cost. So, like I explained to a couple of them, we're trying to figure
We're
out.
working on it.
Yeah, totally see your point.
Like,
35 isn't the answer.
No, I don't think it is.
I've had the bus drivers call already on it.
I believe that.
Yeah, and come this fall, they're gonna be calling again.
Mhm.
And I guess, talking to Les Hitch, who drove the Hanover Road, 35 miles an hour, he wasn't impressed either. Like he said, he just added an extra half hour to 35 minutes to his route, having to drive those speeds. And we'll get back to that if I can, Mark. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do.
You know, a timeline, cause school's starting up and I run late in the mornings.
So, would it help if next year we had a shortcut for you, section line?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're gonna keep trying to work on this. Yeah, getting a lot of calls on it, so.
Okay.
And a lot of them are your neighbors. I guess I haven't heard from your house yet, but I know how you're feeling.
Yeah. And the neighbor about a quarter mile north too feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And a mile or two north.
Yep.
For its east.
Yeah, and I guess the question was asked by two of them was, why are two farmsteads deciding what should be done in speed limits? And that's a very good question that I guess we didn't take into consideration when Kenny and I started talking about it. It's like, very good point. So, in the near future, probably before school, we gotta do something, but that's,
I'm hoping after we can do something after we get this pipe put in next week. So,
Okay.
hopefully.
so point taken, we gotta come up with something, but I don't know what yet.
Because I know more than two families who are upset.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've talked to quite a few, so.
So, okay. That's all I've got. Just wondering if it's talked about.
Well, like I said, we can get something figured out there. We wanna get it back to where it was. And I know, I guess talking to Jim a bunch, he's been out there trying to catch the so-called speeders, but yeah.
You didn't get a ticket, did you?
Not yet.
We can work on that. I know a guy.
I'd say go in there and butter up to them a little bit,
You
you
can
know.
see them coming.
Oh!
Just kidding.
Bring that undercover.
Yeah, we need
Next
to
topic,
recover
skid
unit
steer.
now.
Skid steer.
So,
Well, if I could quick,
Yeah.
go back to your roads. Who put the 35 signs out there? I guess most of your construction's done that we could pull them yet.
We did, the county
I
did
think
that
so.
before
Okay.
we got here, in
Yeah.
anticipation of us coming.
So as far as on your end, your drivers would still drive normal,
We're
so
still
we can
driving 25.
so we can get
best
them
we can.
out
Yep.
of there?
Yep.
Yeah, there's been a lot of questions about
Yep.
that.
so if you guys are good, I was pretty sure that it was the
Yeah, that-
county that put them in last
Yeah,
year.
did them right before we started.
Yeah, we just put up the construction signs for construction traffic and then the electric signs.
Okay.
So I really appreciate, just have your guys.
Okay.
And then we'll get them done. Thank you.
One item I do wanna bring up as for our roads, so the pre-construction inventory roads. Obviously, we know those are part of the RUA agreement, large files. I wasn't able to fly with a external hard drive yesterday, so I overnighted it. I was hoping I'd bring it to you guys today. Didn't show up yet, but I'm gonna get it this afternoon and then I'll come see you, JD, and bring it up.
You wanna talk about the pipe since I gave you guys that? This is the bill for those 3 pipe that have been little road there. Like I said, they started getting delivered today. Should have them all, this week, and plan is starting on the one. What's that? It's a mile and a half north of Highway 25 on Google Road. Yeah.
You go over there, that's cement.
Yep, and the cement will be, after we're done with the pipe, we'll be covering that up also and getting rid of that dip. The cement is,
Not a good idea.
no, well, it's got big holes in it. And,
It's like,
yeah, and I talked to all the landowners on that road. The only one I haven't got a hold of yet was Carterberg. But so far, the census is get rid of it. So,
get rid of the cement.
well, we'll cover it. We're not gonna take it out, we're gonna
Fill
cover
it
it.
in.
So,
We'll cut it, it's like.
well, the cement is north of the culverts, so it's not even, but we'll be working there, so it'll be a time to do it when we're there.
Equipment will be there.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So, but that's the price for those. And
Okay, do you want to drop the keys quick?
Yeah,
See
we
what's
can do
get
it.
on hand?
yeah,
What's the dollar amount on that?
104,000,
Thank you. Okay, we're good.
For you guys that are wondering, that's for 3 culverts, 150 feet long each.
Or 8 foot.
And they're rotted out and, Kitty, when he called me, he called all the neighbors right away to let them know if they're driving semis and big equipment. We gotta be careful because we don't want.
We've got it marked because there is a hole on the west side of the road. That's probably, thanks actually to Greg's guys, they're the ones that had it when they were doing out scan surveying and got it, so he called right away, so it worked out good.
Keith?
Hey Keith, you're on the agenda for right now.
See my pink flags there?
You're right.
My pink flags?
That culvert?
Yeah.
No, haven't been that direction in the last few months.
I was figuring that was you out there, out here cutting.
Yeah. I probably won't. Yeah.
Yep.
I come in on the north side.
Okay.
Most of the time. Anyways, what I've got going on, or what I'm wanting, is right now there's, on this section of this 7, there's a half-mile of fence here and here, and I run my cattle from here through here. They winter here and they fall graze, and they come down to the yard for water and shelter when it's extremely bad weather. So anyways, we've always done this. This fence is in field repair. My neighbor's fence, he doesn't want to stick anything into it, so I'm asking if I can put a fence along the right way. And this is section line. Nobody travels this. Our family does. And once in a great while, you might get a hunter that'll come down there. And what I'm proposing is I would put my fence on the right of way. That way I own it, it's my fence. And I would put a cattle guard here so nobody has an issue with the gate. And this east end will still be gated.
Okay, now I see.
And that is my place.
Yep.
Okay, so this is to the east of your place.
Yes, south and east.
Yep.
So this would be just a little over a quarter mile here, and then this would be a half. And this is all crop over here, so it doesn't affect anything.
So this is the right-of-way fence you're talking right here.
Yeah, right now the fence is, it's a boundary. It's on the neighbor's side or whatever. I want to go within the county right away.
Is this the one we put that culvert in a couple years ago?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, 2 years ago in the fall.
Yep.
Back
Yep.
over here a little ways. Like I say, nobody travels that section line. It's never been an issue. It's always been fenced this way for that reason. We move cattle through their spring and fall and winter. So.
And like you said,
So I put the fence along
there is a gate here
this road this way or that?
Well,
Fall place.
yeah.
from his place
It ended up
across
being
the
just a
road.
hair over 3/4 of a mile. I know in the past I've been told sometimes by one of the commissioners, just go ahead and do it. Pardon me?
You own the property on both sides here?
Nope.
This is his name.
He just wants to do it here and here.
So how close would that be to the road in the right-of-way?
Well, if we do it right, we would be within about, your section line is what, 66, you got 33 each way, so we'd be within about 32 feet of the center of that section line.
Yeah, as long as it's right down the middle.
Right. Oh, no, it's gonna be, cause that used to be well, it was never a road, but I mean, it is built up a little bit, there's ditches there and stuff, so it'll be off of that. I just don't wanna put a fence there and then it's on somebody else's property and then it's an issue. So for me,
As long as the neighbor doesn't have an issue.
he doesn't have an issue with it, he just doesn't wanna stick any.
Very neighborly of you.
What's that?
That's very neighborly of you.
Well, I've been told before, well, sometimes just do it and ask for forgiveness later. To me, that's not the right way to do it.
No.
You come in and do what's right, because I sure as heck don't want to take it down afterwards.
Yeah.
Once is enough, so.
I know Keith has called and trying to understand it now with the picture. I understand.
And like you said, this, on this end, right before the main road, it is gated off.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Yep. And I would, if it's fine, I would put a 24-foot cattle guard in there with wings on it. And it's all I-beam, I mean, it's semi-approved, but nobody goes through there with semi. Well, these renters do, but I talked to the renter too, and he said he'd actually rather have a, cattle guard there than he, it's easier for him to get across with his headers and everything.
Let's see, probably, do we need a motion for that?
I see no problem with it. We've had problems in the past where people go right down the middle of an unused section of land, and then there's always a problem with it. But what you're doing there is.
Well, you ain't gonna build it right down because he uses it, so.
I just wanted to make sure it was good with everybody and on the up and up, so.
Do you need a motion for that, because he'll be installing the cattle guard too?
Yeah, I think we better.
At least there's a record.
Yeah, that's what you
So
can
we
do.
have a-
Copies, and then if anybody does have an itch, they can say, okay, you know, well, what's going on.
So I'll make a motion to allow Keith Kessler to put that, 3/4 mile of fence in on the right of way and to install a 24-foot cattle guard. Does that work?
That works, and then as long as I can get a copy of the minutes or.
It's posted, and then you can get it to you.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on
Any
this?
labels on that? Should we put legal descriptions on that?
Oh, section township, yeah.
Between 12 and 18, 141.87. And
So this is section 12, but this is Mercer County.
Yeah.
So that's the county line here.
okay, that's why
You got 2 12s, right?
on the west side of section 12, 141.87, or the Mercer County line,
West side of section 12, 141.87,
or the Mercer County line.
over Mercer County.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Taken care of.
Thank you.
See you later, you got.
Used to coming over here in the mornings.
And then skid. Out a few different ones. To fill you in, the only way our case can be fixed is the new chassis. I asked them to give me an estimate. I was told it's not worth it. So I don't have an estimate to actually repair. It was that case for 3 weeks. They put new arms on it. The new H-frame behind the cab, and it made it worse. So right now, our bucket if you're sitting in the machine, it's the right side. That side is down. The left side is 3 inches up. And your front assembly sits to the right. So we're limited on the 2 items that we have is pallet forks, and we got a bucket for it. Because when you clamp the attachments on, it bends them. We got a lot of money worth of attachments that I don't want to wreck.
For the felon?
I asked the companies that
Can you
bid.
trade it off?
Yeah, I tried that. They told me $1,500 for scrap.
It's for next to a brand new engine and running gear.
There's 330 hours on that machine. Our insurance won't cover it because it was employee operator error, and our liability insurance won't cover it because the individual is working here.
Can you fill me in a little bit more about that?
So we didn't know that. We thought it was a case defect when we were dealing with this, and that's why it went back to case. There was just some things that weren't adding up, so I kind of started talking to one of the other employees, and what happened is previous employee, when they were putting in a culvert, backed it into a creek, not paying attention.
Temporary employee.
Yeah, got it stuck. Well, of course, it's in water and mud, and nobody wants to get out and dig and find the proper spot to hook a chain. the way I understand it was hooked onto by our big excavator and pulled.
Okay.
So what that did is twist the main frame of the machine to cause, we were hoping it was the arms that were bent. Well, when we sent it the case, they put new arms in it. They're the H frame that hold the arms on behind the cab, they put that on it. And they also did offset pins to see if they could get it so it's usable.
When did this happen?
Last fall.
Whose decision was it to use the excavator to remove it?
That I don't know. That I don't know.
Do I need to look into this anymore?
I would think that you should.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get to work on it.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about it?
Yeah.
after the meeting?
Yep. So, but that's all we've
What's
done.
the cost?
Well, Jaden pulled some numbers, and it appears roughly 90-some thousand is what this one cost us.
Okay. And our insurance won't cover damage that was done to it because it was done by an employee.
Yes.
Okay.
It was basically, they told me it was misuse of equipment of somebody that was employed here. You know, it should have been stopped from above.
What do you think about that?
That's to me, $100,000 oops is unacceptable. That's my biggest thing. I mean, we literally got $100,000 piece of equipment that I won't let them use because it's a safety issue.
What will it cost to fix it, or is it even possible?
We were told by Case when it was there that it's the main pins that are part of the frame. So there's no fixing that. Literally, you would end up buying a frame, taking the motor, everything out at $200 and some an hour.
Cost prohibitive. When did we find out that this event occurred?
We knew this winter that something was wrong because when we use the forks, they're like this.
Okay.
So, but we thought, it might have been the machine itself. And that's why I contacted Case. I think actually Daryl started the process when he was helping fill in and then by the time they got in and they said, no matter what we do, we can't make it right. And then I started talking to one of the temporaries that came back, and that's when we were filled in, that happened.
Okay, we'll talk afterwards.
So on that note, we do have a CAT skid steer that they're leasing us right now. The case is pretty much sitting, and the only reason I say that is because we went to use it before we got the CAT to unload culverts, and with the forks off center, that was just about a bad deal. They went to grab the culvert and they pushed it off the top, and the guy that was driving the truck was on the other side.
So we're not going to ever consider using that again?
Nope, it's off limits.
Okay.
So, just because we don't need that.
And you have the keys so no one can
It's
accidentally...
right in front of my office, it ain't going anywhere.
Okay.
So, we do have two people that are interested in buying it. I talked to a guy in the eastern part of North Dakota that buys and tries to salvage some of this stuff. There was another guy through John Deere that he was supposed to call me, he never did. He's telling me, if you part it out, everything, you're 30 to 40,000 for parts. Well, we can't have a skid steer motor laying on the floor and all that stuff. So our electrician that's there, he offered us 20,000 as is, the way it sits. That's a hard pill to swallow, in my opinion. The new machine, all the new machines from all the quotes I've had, they're right at 94 to 99,000 after government discount.
Or you lease here.
or you lease unit. I think this on Caterpillar here, this on the back, I just had him do a warranty deal on the back. They do lease options. By buying it outright, you save about 10 grand.
Or the lease is 4 years?
You can do 1 year, you can do 2 year, you can do 5 year. The leases are similar to what the blades are as far as that, unless we want to do a buyout lease. If you decide you don't want to do it, you gotta turn it in and.
Yeah, hours restriction on them.
Yeah, but there is an hour restriction, but they upped it.
Is it a flat fee plus hours or?
No, it's a flat fee. Up to 750 hours a year. So we usually are right around the 400 to 500, 550 from what I can tell a year on the skidder, depending on winter. Because you got more snow up here at the courthouse, and whatnot, but.
We should be okay with that now since we got that new truck.
Right, and the biggest thing is the parking lot and stuff like that, but, so that will help out a lot.
He's been talking to Casey quite a bit about it.
Yeah, I've talked to Casey, I've talked to John Deere. Casey's price through Butler is with a new bucket, a new set of pallet forks, and you have to switch it over to high flow, which is 40. I think he said it costs $4,500 to do that, which they would throw that in on the deal too.
Doesn't match up with our snowblower.
Yep. So it matches our snowblower, our
Chipper.
chipper, our tree grinder, all that stuff. John Deere was going to get back to me when we could have demoed theirs, and that was supposed to be a week ago, but I haven't heard. So unless I knew Morton County was trying to test it out. I called Casey to see if we could get one to try from him. A day later, it was here. So.
I definitely prefer the lease rather than outright buying because of the warranty and so forth. And we've never on any of the equipment gone over hours.
Yeah.
Where we've been penalized.
No, but the lease is very expensive.
The trade-off.
Yeah.
It is, and I'm wondering if they're going to require, additional insurance on behalf of the county because we're going to be handling a very expensive piece of equipment. I'd like to see what the lease terms are.
Yeah, the lease would be similar, not price-wise, but I'm assuming to their
Similar to our
motor graders
motor
and
graders.
our loaders.
And
The
those
warrant?
get added to our NERDERF policy.
The warranty will be the same whether you buy it or lease it.
Right,
Right now, we have 4 blades and a loader and
2 loaders.
2 loaders that we already leased through.
Oh, got
Butler. So we've had good luck with them. Casey's been here.
And my thing here, on, they got 84 month, this is all for the, warranty, the extended warranty. You got 84 month in Premier, you're looking at $3,420 for 7 years of warranty.
Did he tell you how much that? I thought he's told you how much to buy out.
Buyout was 90, I don't have that, I think it was right at 98,000.
After how long?
No, I mean after we lease it for 3 or 4 years. Buy back.
He had it broke down, I think it was, I don't remember. Oh, that's.
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. It
The
was.
lease was high.
The lease.
The lease
But I
was
mean,
high.
if we want to buy it out after we lease it for, say, 3 or 4 years.
Can we do that? Buy it out early?
Yeah. And that's what he said, we could do 1 year and buy it out, we could do 2 years, buy it out.
Yeah, I'd be interested in those numbers.
Same
Yeah.
price though.
It's up a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's not as high as if you would extend it out, you know, your 8 year lease or 7 year lease.
Which county governments are restricted, I think there's something in the budget memo, we can't do leases past like.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years, cause that's what our blades are
I'll have
set
to look at the budget.
That's where the
memo.
lease-
Okay, yeah, send it to me.
Yeah.
To buy it out,
In 1 year.
or a couple, yeah.
And that's what I was thinking, if we could lease it for 1 year,
Tell them
so we
that
could budget for, you know, so we're not gonna drain our
Your
existing
equipment
budget.
logically,
Yes, yes.
I'd be okay. I'm interested in those numbers.
So, and I do have those.
We'll also take a look, well, I'll work with him, about whether we have any recourse.
Sure.
Or the other one, the other machine.
And then as far as, you know, the other one, do we have to bid that, you know, to put it up for sale? Or can we advertise it with, I can't, it just, to let it go for 20,000 when,
Prior to doing that, let me see if there's anything I can do. I'm not saying that there is.
Yeah.
At times asking the right questions or.
okay, other than that,
So do you need approval to go ahead and lease this, or what do we have to do there?
I think we should have, Casey should come up.
Casey is gone right now for some butler training. But, we're gonna need it back if we don't.
We don't go through the lease. It's a nice machine, I got to play with it.
Hook lines.
Well, we're all in favor of the lease, lease agreement?
I mean, if we can buy the lease off of you, I'll do it.
Yep, we can do, he, like I said, and all of a sudden, I think they were in that one I sent you.
You sent me some information about
Yeah. But, yeah,
that. I didn't realize we would buy them each year.
yep.
You do something different.
Yeah, I was just gonna look if that's, he had texted me some of that info, but,
Mine's email.
And I can
or is that
resend
what it
it,
was?
and then you get a chance to look at it, I mean, we can still,
I guess the good thing is it's through, you guys have always been happy with Butler and how they're doing it. He's gonna take care of us, it's a big close.
Yes.
So, I'll make that motion to go, lease, what's the number?
275.
275
Okay,
cap.
cap 275. And, get more info from, Casey on it, but
That should be all we need to do right now.
And then when he was gonna get in touch with me when he gets back, so.
Good. Here's a second.
I'll second that.
Further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor?
I,
Go.
And then the only other thing, did Jim get a hold of you on the chip seal?
Jim.
He's right behind
Hey,
you.
show up. Just so you know you're on there.
I saw it.
He emailed me after I sent out, I think, the first sentence.
Yeah, I think it was.
And asked
So-
if he could come up, and I said, oh yeah, I didn't know you were coming, so, yep.
Met with Kenny and Dave. It's been about 3 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago. The DOT has additional federal funding that has become available specifically for counties, but it's got to be used up by November, which means if you have a project that you want to pursue, the plans have to be done by September, which is a very quick turnaround from a design perspective. So we've been toying with the option of a countywide chip seal, which would include, it's hard to see on here, Hensler Road,
Then go to
Hensler
Cross
Road,
Ranch. And
Cross Ranch.
and it adds up to about 20 miles, it's roughly 20 miles total. almost
Maybe a little more than that.
4 stretches.
What's the fourth one, Hanson, Dakota Cross Ranch, and
And what do you
Those
call it?
three.
Minn Kota Road.
yeah,
Got Hensler, Big Kona, and Cross Ranch. Hope be a nice separate.
Oh, and the Sanger, the little
Like 2
circle
miles, 2 miles
Yep,
on
yep.
the road.
okay.
on River Road there.
This year we did a similar project for Mercer County and it was about 50 grand a mile. So we're looking at roughly $1 million as an estimate for construction on this one. We would use if you guys remember, you have a program sheet, which you've been through the process before at the DOT when we meet with them to get allocated. It's roughly 160 grand a year, is that right? Yeah, and you bank it up, and right now you have around 850 grand in there. So you would use that, and that's federal allocation dollars. That's not Oliver County dollars. It's dollars that get set aside for you to use, and then you match it at a 80%, 20% match in order to use it on farm to market roads. So these are all farm to market roads. They qualify. The DOT called me asking if we had some counties that were interested in this additional funding. Met with Kenny and Dave, and we thought it'd be a good idea to get moving on this process because, quite frankly, chip sealing these roads is a little overdue at this point.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're drying out pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway, the contract is to do the design. The contract that I put on the agenda is to do the survey, design, environmental, and basically bid prep and get it ready for bidding through the DOT by November, for the November bidding.
So construction will be next year.
Construction would be next year. Yep.
So we need to make a decision real soon on this.
Well, to be honest with you, we've already started working on it because for us to meet that September 1st deadline, we weren't gonna be able to do it. So I guess we can stop working on it, but.
And if we don't get after the Hensler Road, it's gone.
Yeah, we're
It's
gonna,
gone.
and the Cross Ranch Road to the east, from the Hensler Road east, hasn't been, it's been a long time.
That one got skipped last time.
What's that?
That got skipped last time.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
We just did this in and out.
right, that was,
It's been a while.
So our cost share would be.
It's gonna be 20% of the construction cost.
150,000.
It's
Depending on what's in that fund.
House comes back at, yep. It's all depend on the bid price. So our estimate was right around $1 million.
Yeah, we need to do it.
cause I wanna, like we were talking, we wanna get the recycle put down on the shoulders before.
You gonna work on your shoulders? Okay.
Cause we'll glue it down before, when we put our stuff down, we'll glue it down, so when they come in, that's just another,
So you're gonna do your work right from
This year.
This year, so it can cure over the
Yep.
winter. Okay.
it has to be done this year, cause if it gets broke off too much more, we're gonna be in safety concern, so.
If we had a pile of crushed asphalt, we'd have it made.
Yep.
Problem is finding it.
So I do have 3 leads now on 3 piles, so hopefully.
We might have to tear up the B&I road early just to get enough crushed asphalt to do it.
There'll be a lot of oil in there.
And the B&I road is not on there for obvious reasons.
We're working on something else.
That's on there, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make that motion to go forward with chip sealing on those sections of road.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Go for it.
Okay. Jaden, will you get a signed copy from Lee and you'll need a witness and send it up to me? I got it right here.
That,
What's that?
right there in front of you, a signed copy of that, yeah, give it to him and sign it.
Yeah, you
No,
got
that's it.
another year, there might be enough in that fund to pay for it.
Which one?
You can borrow ahead on it.
But
I should have
if there's
mentioned
850 in it, another year, we probably might have
Well, and
enough.
that's a different fund, it's not in our account, so that's the.
That's right through the federal.
Whatever.
Still,
Right,
if it comes
yep.
through that, we might have another year's worth of money in there.
But like he said, you can borrow up to 2 years ahead.
At least 3.
Yeah.
They've done 4
So-
in the past,
So, yeah.
yeah, they'll cover it. No matter how much you borrow ahead, you still have to.
Jane, do you have to sign that?
Do I need to sign it too?
Yes.
Okay. Really?
So,
That's all I got. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
yeah, yeah. And that's all I have too, Lee, unless you guys have anything else for me.
no, that's it.
Can I take like 2 minutes to run through? I just stepped out. Take like
We're
a
gonna
2.
have you next, Becky, on the list here.
Thank you.
See you, Joe.
Okay, that, okay, Becky. Let's just do Patty.
Okay.
And do that.
41,
County
45.
reporter. County contract service and you decreased that by half,
Yeah.
is there a reason?
It's mostly just, we haven't ever used the 3,500. You can go for less than the travel came up in 25 with the mileage and everything.
Okay, I guess I honestly don't have any questions on it, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Nikki, I was gonna talk to you before the meeting. Your what do I want to call it, your system, your computer system. That's separate from the county, but I think I got the answer because Patty uses it also, right? Same thing, yeah. Okay, so I got that answered by Patty, but that was one question I had was, because we're paying $4,950 for her program or whatever. And it was like, okay, why is that separate from what the rest of the county uses? But it isn't just Vicky, Patty's involved also.
Well, and you need it too.
Well, it could be extended to include the auditor and treasurer would start doing that, any kind of deeds. Because then it would be, when we get a deed in, it would go to the treasurer to check taxes, it would go to Jaden to electronically sign it, and then so it could be expanded on. And it's, that electronic recording is a big help, for sure.
Simplify things actually.
Now, I know you're saying there's no issue, but I want to point out that I'm going to be asking that my wages be returned to what they were at prior to February 5th. I'm making $35,000 right now. And my attorney will be presenting some of this too.
At this point, I'm going to direct that there be no further discussion about attorneys or anything, as that creates liability for the county. Ms. McNulty wishes to have her attorney present, that's one thing, or if she wishes to communicate with the county regarding that, that's another, but it's not appropriate to be discussing or making legal threats at a county commission meeting.
Okay, no further discussion on it. No further discussion on it. Period.
He recused himself from this.
And you earned what happened to you.
If you guys agree with this, I'm going to leave, but you might want to take a look at this century code.
We have our legal advice, but no further discussion on this.
Just remember Todd Shores is in charge of anything.
No further discussion.
Yeah, here's some extra.
I can take highlighted parts that you might want to see there.
Yep, that's actually not applicable to this situation.
Excuse me a second. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're next on our list.
$48.11 towards the back. And I don't think I got the updated copy made because I had sent them the previous one, but the secretarial one was changed. Yep.
So with mine, basically the top line is left vacant because I don't have that yet. That is a number that we are given from NDSU, and I'm not sure why we don't have it yet, but anyways, I can't give you something I don't have. The other ones, basically, I readjusted it. It's a little different than what you have here, but we went to a full-time with Brittany and just adjusted the numbers. And wherever you go, the first line I put in at 38. She was at 36 even last year. I went to 38, whatever you guys do for pay increases. The next one to 38. This one here will be the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the numbers here if you just want to cross them, copy them.
So whatever you guys do for pay increases for administrative assistants, I guess we'll ask for that for Brittany. I did put in 38, and I leave that to you guys where you go with other employees too. But other than that, mine is very straightforward. I bumped up everything the 1/5 on like retirement, FICA, health insurance, and I'm thinking that all was coming out of the 1/5 on lead board, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward what we're at. So I've been The 6,000 for mileage and that type of thing, I kind of stay within that. Part of it is that we normally have a team that goes to Oklahoma every year, but we've been very, very fortunate that with that event is that the mileage is covered by the other person that helps coach the team. And so that's not really a county expense other than just some meals that we turn in for reimbursement on that deal. We do have a very competitive group of kids, and so there may be another national trip in that work here for next year, but we'll kind of play that by year. We always stay within our budget, so. If there's any questions with that?
Are they all Oliver County kids?
Most of them are. The way that it works is that we do have a couple of kids from Griggs County that have been judging with us the past couple of years. And the way that works is they actually have to enroll as Oliver County 4-H kids because of the way the numbers match up. They are all competing as Oliver County kids, even though a couple of them do live out in the county. We do have another thing, I guess, on the positive side is we had a new 4-H club join our county. It was in Morton County. Some of the kids live in Oliver County, but some of those live in Morton County as well. But we actually had a fairly large group of kids come up this direction last year. Our 4-H numbers are really, really good right now. And so I think we're sitting very good on the youth side of things.
Okay, any questions for Rick?
Well, I just gotta clarify, so it took me a while to find it. So this is Brittany's from 28.8 to 35.5, so.
I'm not sure why. Actually,
Rob has the updated one. I'll need that back
This
if
is
you wanna
actually-
cross off it.
4/5. This
Yeah.
is the whole.
Okay,
yeah.
There's
okay,
actually a $2,000 pay adjustment.
She's currently at 36 right now.
got it, okay.
So that was, that's a 4/5. That 28.8 was a 4/5. If you divide by 4 times 5, it is 36, and then I put in 38 just to see what you guys do for increases.
Okay.
And that, any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Rob, I'm gonna need that one back.
Thank you.
Is that the original?
Yes.
Patty, you're on our list.
Oops, which one am I? My planning and zoning or tax?
I'm director of tax equalization.
Okay, thank you.
Your
Okay.
assessor one's-
Yeah, I know. I'm just, So I am requesting to be bumped up from 32 hours to 35 full time. With that said, with my salary increase, I wanted to give you guys the amount of what I would have been making if I was at 35 hours this year. And then what I'm requesting, with the $1.50 raise, because it seems like it's a high bump up, but I would be adding 3 more hours a week. So.
Is there work there to justify it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want to sit with me?
And I just want input with that 3% cap. Her role is so valuable to the county right now to make sure we capture the new growth in the county. Because if we don't, that would hurt us in the long run when we are budgeting with the caps in place. So it is very vital that she keeps on track of everything that's being done in the county for tax director.
Yeah, this is just my tax equalization. I'm also the only assessor in the county, and so I have at least 1,200 residential properties that I have to keep up with. I have to keep up with the city. I got to keep up with any agricultural changes to commercial, any commercial buildings. So, and on top of that, I have to keep everything up. Well, I have the county in sections that, like, a particular section I have to keep up with, like, if there's any updates, if somebody didn't get a building permit, I have to go and do house reviews or property reviews. So yeah, so the 3 hour, to answer your question, yes, the 3 hours is justified.
Most counties have 2 people.
Yeah, 2 people.
When you're done.
Yes. Well, a lot of people do, a lot of counties have the tax director, and then they have assessors, like separate. So somebody just assess. That would be amazing. I don't mind running around the county.
Any more on the,
Nope, that was my only big thing.
okay, let's go to planning and zoning then first.
So assessing first. 41, 44.
Okay, we don't cover that one yet, then. Okay.
Did you give them the new one?
They should all have the updated one.
Okay.
I stuck it in your folders, it wasn't in your binders, so.
Okay. So, I got a big increase coming, because I would like to switch my GIS system to Sidwell from the PAC program. I will give you guys these to look at. I'm not looking at signing the contract right now. I'm just looking at you guys take these home, look at them, do with what you have, but not that I don't like the PAC program, Mark is very good, but I want, especially with how advanced everything is getting, I want the GIS system at my fingertips. I want to be able to have a map that has layers, and that is in the contract. Like I said, I'm just mentioning a couple of things. They'll actually do my mapping for me. I send them a deed, they'll split it for me. They'll put the layers in for me. They'll do all my GIS and stuff. I get at least, I'd say 10, maybe 10, 20 on the high end a year GIS requests. And so I have to send that to Mark, then Mark sends them, and it's a whole rigmarole of stuff.
What you're saying with Sidwell, then you
I would
would
be
have to put in nearly as many hours.
No. No. I actually, Sidwell will give me more access so I don't have to rely on somebody else and wait, pretty much. I have everything. I could send, at some point I want to put this out on our website to where if people can look at their parcel number, can verify, how many acres they have so they're not calling me, things of that sort.
And also it's beneficial for planning and zoning.
Yeah, well, yeah, Sidwell already did our planning and zoning, and it kind of coincides with them as well. But I'm looking for something like other counties have a GIS department. I can't physically do GIS by myself and still do my job. I need to hire that out. This program will cost a lot right away.
First year.
The first year is on page 11, or what I had on the back of that. On the back.
About half
So
as
you
much
guys-
from there.
Yeah.
In your colored folders, I gave you an updated sheet that she had made because you both had your binders already, so she has notes on the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, it went on,
There you go.
my original, they didn't have the portico, and the portico subscription is my access and the layers and everything, so. But yeah, 35 for the first year, about 16 for the next year. We're only doing every 2 years, so he said the cost will go up because it's just how it is, but it won't be a dramatic, drastic change. The reason it's a $60,000 request is because I also have Camavision, I have, which is Vanguard, which I use for my assessing as well, and some odd and ends of different things that I have to use to assess. But the two main ones would be Sidwell and CAMA, which are my two major programs for my assessing. So, I did tell Sidwell that I was gonna present you guys with the contract today. He said he can keep the rates locked in for a couple months, but I think our budgeting is, would you say September, October?
We have to do the budget hearing between September 7th and October 7th.
So I figured at budget hearing, what you guys decide, I'll just bring the contract and you can, if you guys decide I can do this, then we'll do it at that time. But everything will not start until 2026.
It would be very beneficial just from the standpoint of we get a lot of calls for information that this program can provide, and it would be available on our website then, where we maybe wouldn't get as many of those phone calls and we have to redirect to Patty or Laura or me or whoever, and mostly Patty, but it would just be beneficial, I think, overall.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, one thing with Sidwell I also want to point out is the tech support I'm gonna get. I will be able to call them, send them something, and within, he said at the most a day, you know, if they're busy or whatever, have everything I need and update it on my website. So that's what I'm excited about. Everything at my fingertips. All right.
Now we're going to what?
Soils? Or wait.
Oh, I forgot to add that on there, but yes, we can go over soils.
Okay, so soils are the same. You do not, well, that's another thing. I had to do an update with my soils. So Mark did that with my last PAT, with this PAT update. So I haven't needed to do a county or a meeting, board meeting with the soils committee. So everything's the same. Just kind of if it happens.
So. Figure out what this is.
I think it-
Yeah, I see it on here. I don't know,
Oh, the
I don't
soils,
know
yeah.
if you should explain what this is all about.
It's just, if the soils, we have to explain the soils, what soils we accept,
For the value.
modify, yeah. No, we don't do values.
Alkali soil.
Yeah, I mean, it's, since they've already done a soil survey, I did have to have it updated, and like I said, Mark did that this last PAT update, so everything will be current. Other than that, the state was fine with it. They just said, yeah, you might wanna look at your see if everything's updated, so.
Okay, questions on soils? Don't have any? Okay, what's next on your agenda?
I have two,
You have abatement.
Oh, abatement.
Yeah, don't do that.
I just have two abatements. These are for Gary Helfenstein. He lives in town, did not know about the homestead credit. And so I did everything, or I got everything I need. And he can qualify for that in 2023 and 2024. He's already done 2025, so we don't have to beat that, but it would be not necessarily what I'm looking for is for you guys to accept the application since they're past due. We'll get the money from the state.
Yeah, that's all. It's
just I need, it's extra paperwork because it's after due date.
just need a
Make a
motion.
motion to accept that. Gary Benz.
Second.
Okay, motion second, all in favor? Aye.
We'll just give you that information, Patty.
Yeah, it's the same.
Dollar amounts and personal number.
You don't even have to do dollar amounts.
Oh,
Second.
your planet card, Kelly, I like that.
No, you're fine. That one. I found out that because it's just an application request,
Okay.
there's technically, we're not losing money, we're not abating taxes, we're just. I wish it would be different though.
Okay. Thank you.
Did I have anything else online?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, for.
Plenty of something, but nothing else for the other stuff.
Okay, so now I have to put on plans. Alright. We're doing budget, right? For planning and zoning? Okay, so after much discussion with Jaden, we feel that the payment, or the pay for, us is fine. I personally think I can't give you an exact amount of time that I spend planning and zoning and I spend tax directing, because they intertwine at sometimes. Yes, there are days when I will spend 2 hours on planning and zoning, doing ordinance or whatever, looking at stuff or researching or permits. But like I said, I think we both feel we're getting paid fairly, or fair, for what we are doing for planning and zoning. That's, I do wanna request an increase in the meeting pay. I understand that it goes across all boards, but I feel in this past year, and it's not with just planning and zoning, but you know, with the lead board and everything, we've had a lot of meetings, a lot of time. These individuals come in and they're expected to be paid $45 and look at ordinances and look at how something is done and everything. And I think the $45.
What's the going rate in the state?
I have not looked lately, but I think when we looked last year, I mean, it was between like what we have at 45 to
some of them have
70. Some
Yeah, I
have
was gonna
100.
say
I mean, it depends on.
County was the highest.
It depends on the county, and
I think a lot of them go average, was it around 50 or
I
something?
think so.
How
Yeah.
long does a typical meeting last?
Late.
So the per hour is not real great.
No, and I'm not even looking at them being at a meeting. It's like to me, when you're put on this board, yeah, you're volunteering, but we're expected to have you look at your ordinance, like for planning and zoning right now.
Yeah, I think that's something we'll look at when we do our time budget.
No, I'm just saying, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
I think that, just this past year.
Well, it's probably been more like last two-ish years.
Two-ish years.
We've had an awful lot of
You
more meetings than normal.
went from 10 meetings per year to 2 meetings
Well,
per
in
month.
At times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in the amount I requested, you know, with the travel expense and everything, I said at 18 meetings. We may not have, like, I think planning and zoning didn't meet for like 3 months in
Yeah,
December.
like December, January, February. We did not have a meeting this last, because one, I think it was weather, and the other said we just didn't have permits or anything like that to hear, and so we just.
I think I made most of them too.
December, January, February.
No, all the other, just about all of them.
But no, I just wanted to throw it out there. Like I said, it's not just planning and zoning, but it's all boards across, you know, because we request a lot
Yeah,
more
it's,
than.
it's a state requirement that we pay them all the same.
Yes, we do have to pay
Yes.
each board the same rate, but
Except for the water board.
yes, they do their own. Mm-hmm.
That's my side deal.
Something to at least consider.
Yes. I just wanted to throw it out
Sure.
there. What's next?
I have
Jean?
nothing for the budget for planning and zoning,
Do
nothing
you guys
further
have any
unless you have
questions?
No, we're done with that question, okay.
We do have building permit.
Jaden,
Sorry.
I'm just giving her, yeah. We work well together, I promise. No, this building permit is for Jean and Nicolette for their house. So we missed it, cause we actually approved it with planning and zoning back in April. And it just got tossed in the midst of everything, so it's, it's for
This
them,
is to replace the house that.
the house that they have, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve that building permit.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
That one and that one. I tried to hide on the other. Okay, and then board appointment.
So,
The next one, wasn't it?
yes, I have one applicant, Bob Bohr, contacted me yesterday and is pulling his name for consideration due to some personal health reasons. So I have Gary Price. I did put the ad out there. I think one person maybe came in and had an application, but I haven't gotten anything back.
The deadline was today.
What the deadline was today. I mean, obviously, if you don't feel that this application or applicant, if you want to potentially put it out another month, we have that option, or we do have Gary Price as an applicant. He said he would be interested, so I'm leaving it up to you guys.
I have no issues.
Nope, I think Gary would be a good one.
Thank you, yeah. Different perspective, maybe.
You wanna make that
So
motion?
moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion for Gary Price.
For Gary Price.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Okay, I will let him know. Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Any questions from you guys?
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
County courthouse budget.
These are all the other miscellaneous sheets in here, if you wanna go over them. If you have questions, if you were looking at any of them, I get it. It's fine. If you have questions,
I know where your office is.
yeah, you know where to find me.
They're kind of all listed, so.
The only one, and I think I gave you guys that change, or I made a comment to it, was the computer one. The number that I have in there, that should be okay. Tax director, state attorneys, Lauren will need a new computer.
Oh, she will.
And the computer in the vault, yeah. The NRG has her own rotation, so she should be needing a new one for the next year.
Okay.
So, and I have that in the courthouse computer room.
Alright.
Yep.
Cool.
So, if you do have questions,
Sure.
come find me.
Okay, other business. Portfolio reports. Have anything?
I guess mine's all pretty well been covered already with Roland. Been meeting with the auditor's office a lot, still learning more budget.
No, we had our, what meeting, what did you call it? Long range plan?
Oh, the steering committee for the comprehensive plan.
Comprehensive plan. I thought it went well.
Yes, it did go very well. They gave me a kind of a preliminary outline after that meeting. They want to wait to send it out to the rest of the committee until they have the sample survey questions ready, and then I'll be sending all of that out.
Who's on that committee?
And then
So it's Rob, me and Alice, Patty, Greg, Lane, Carly,
Kenny.
2 from the SCD, Kenny,
Well,
we have
Carly's
3
got
from
it down for
planning,
Minnesota.
Carly from Minnesota, yeah,
Mike Teets.
Mike
Mike
Keats
Keats
for
is here.
water, and then we've got 3 from planning and zoning,
JD
and then
Hansen.
the city.
Oh, so.
Yeah, so JD Hansen and then Michael for SCD.
Yeah.
Oh, great, that's
We have
it's
a,
well-rounded
it
committee.
is a very well-rounded group,
Yes.
and
Oh,
everybody,
everybody made it, huh?
everybody except Patty, she was out of town, but, yes, everybody made it to that first meeting, it went really well, there was a lot of good feedback given, they were very impressed with the information that they got at that meeting, I think they were almost a little surprised to have gotten as much comments and feedback that they got, but, yeah, overall, it's looking really good.
How
So,
old were you when they wrote the last one?
That was, let's see, that was in late sixties,
76?
73?
76, I think, is
Oh,
when it was
76
approved.
but that was.
They was pretty young then.
That was 50 years ago.
That's before Unit 2.
Before I went on the city council. That's a lot of years ago. That's the last time it hadn't been updated since then.
Yes.
So Lane, you got big shoes to fill.
50 years.
Yeah, that's, you're on there permanently. Don't get off.
So that means you gotta start thinking about city council.
Oh, boy.
Business person, what kind of commission.
Okay, next thing on the list, October, North Dakota Association of Counties Conference coming up in
Yes.
October.
We just got the email today, registration is open. So what I need from you is, are you going and do you need a hotel room? It is in Bismarck, it
What are
takes
the
place
dates?
at the event center. It is the end of October.
Yes. October 26th, 27th.
Yes, the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
I may have a conflicting professional commitment at that time.
And we can register up until, so just let me know.
I will attend,
Okay,
and you guys are too, right?
it's very good to go. I
It's
will, I highly
excellent.
recommend it.
Should go.
And because it is a
And the
professional,
sheriff department should go.
somebody from the sheriff's department should go to that also, yes.
Pressure's on now.
Okay, so you three for sure, right? Okay.
Did they have a hotel? Which one's? Same as last
I
year?
have not looked at the list. I'm gonna guess it's the same as last year. State rate is $99 if you want to stay. I personally drive back and forth. It's what? Oh, they just sent 99, so.
What'd you say?
I will have a room.
You will.
Yeah.
The 26th is that Sunday.
Yeah.
The conference itself, the full days are the 27th and 28th. The 26th is like committee meetings typically.
Or
prior
not
to
happy
it.
hour or nothing?
Oh, they do have a happy hour.
Glad you know what's going on.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yes, they do have a happy hour. But, okay, so you're Lee Hotel, you no hotel. Dave,
I don't know.
undecided yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to register either of you or think about it?
Well, we'll send
Somebody?
somebody.
Okay, I need a name, but let me know.
Okay.
Cause there's early bird registration where we get a discount, so.
Well, we're not gonna, I don't think if either one of us go, we're not getting a room or nothing, so.
No, and that's fine, I just need to register for the conference
Get
itself.
them, get them two, they're gonna go together for one single bed is all.
Yeah. And then they can monitor the roads.
You're going?
You have to.
I'm not sharing a bed with Dave, I've done that before.
Because that's our annual,
Yes, we have the
Yeah.
DOT meeting.
yeah, which
During
is
that
part of
conference.
transportation that we're required to go to.
No hotel? Okay, I just need to know, at least for you guys, who I can register. Typically, everybody else in here registers themselves. If they go. Pretty much everybody goes. So, definitely worth going to. There's lots of vendors, good networking, and then they have a lot of nice breakout sessions where you learn a little bit more about things pertinent to the county.
Okay, Sheriff's Department updates.
I guess the only thing I just gave, like I said, with our vehicles, anything like that, And Jim is still working on that
Okay,
stuff, so.
we're just gonna not talk about those. till-
Yeah, that's the only
okay.
really,
Okay.
any other updates I
Okay.
had.
Oh, okay.
We did order them, I mean, that was ordered, and the check for the vehicles themselves has been written in order for that process to start.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just got an email, so they're in production right now, and just as the components come in, they're putting them together. We're probably looking at delivery probably October,
Yeah.
at the latest, so, policy wise, I've done my part, I've reviewed and tweaked and rewrote and whatever, now it's
Yep,
with
I dropped-
HR and legal.
I dropped the ball on it, I'll have an answer
Yeah.
for you by the end of the week, so.
I need a blizzard to start reading.
Blizzard,
Yeah.
like from Dairy Queen, cause I'll
No,
buy you
no,
one.
no.
Other than that.
Sorry, Jim. We don't have.
I'll get on
I guess.
Good enough, then we'll move on to YouthWorks agreement renewal.
And I talked to you guys about this, the agreement itself, it's just for, if we would pick up a juvenile, we have a contract with the state, and it's a $400 amount, and then for every day over, I think it's 2 or 3.
2 day out.
It's $160 per day after that. If we don't have this, it will cost us way more money, like
Yeah.
a lot more.
It's-
And it's there's no
We have to
cost,
do that one.
there is no cost to us unless we would have a juvenile that gets taken down.
I want to say 3 or 4 days was over 1,500, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not including if there's healthcare costs or
Right.
anything like that, so.
Do we need a motion to approve that then, or?
Yes.
So moved. I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye.
And it's a 2-year agreement, so we shouldn't have to do it again until 27. Yep.
North Dakota Association of County Delegate for a conference.
So, we got an email from Jeff Esslinger a couple of weeks ago, and I think I brought this up last year, but according to the NDACO Constitution, it's supposed to be like the county officials that pick their delegate. Typically, it's just been the commissioners pick one of you guys to do it. I don't know,
What are you looking at me for?
well, is your students and you're a part of this? I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking what you guys would prefer, because this is what the NDACO Constitution has.
Not a whole lot involved, I've been a delegate for almost as long as the comprehensive plan.
I'm just putting that out there because the email was sent to me, and I'm like, well, I'll just put it on there, and we have to pick somebody, and then I have to let NDACO know who the delegate is going to be. So, like Lee said, he's done it every single year, so.
I'll volunteer to do it too. That's
Huh?
okay. I will volunteer to do it. But I have to be appointed.
I mean, so
I'll make a motion to appoint me to
Second.
be the NDACO and your conference representative.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Senate Bill 2180, policy resolution.
we tabled this from the last meeting, so you guys had time to look it over. I forgot to print off copies. Did you have comments? I know Aaron Durst talked to us at our auditor treasurer's conference about this. And I mean, he said we have to have something in place, so I have no comments on it because this is more of a,
You said we have to?
well, the state passed this law, Senate Bill 2180.
Yeah.
And we have to allow public comment at our meetings starting in August.
Yep, this is what I prepared. I think it's in line, it cites directly to the statute. I strongly encourage you guys to adopt this language.
I know last meeting you said you maybe had a couple of comments or, adjustments or something, and so we tabled it till this one, and I'm bringing it back up.
That's the problem with doing it is that these are set up for the big city, 5 commissioner meetings, and and where they only allow a certain number of people. We're a small area, we're a small county, and we should be able to listen to everybody that wants to come in here, I think. So I have some negative thoughts on approving it, but that's me.
Was there a time limit on there too, or something? They had
I think there was a time
Respond
limit,
beforehand
like 3
and stuff.
minutes, because I think the comment that was made by Aaron Burst at our conference was that sometimes some of these meetings, you know, not pointing at ours, but in general, like commission meetings, city council meetings can turn into an open mic thing, where people get up there and they talk for, you know, their allowed time, and then the next person gets up and says, well, I cede my time to so-and-so, and they keep talking and they do it over and over and over again.
Or, you know, what I've personally experienced at some of the various meetings that I've attended, not just here, but that the longer someone has an opportunity to talk, the more likely it is that something inappropriate will be said, or, you know, emotions will run high, and so by limiting the amount of time someone has it for, it narrowly tailors what they're going to do to that. But I also understand what you're saying, Lee. Yeah.
One question that was asked, I guess, at our meeting was, you know, the comment was, we'll have a public comment period at the beginning or at the very end of the meeting. One of the auditors asked, can we do something during the agenda item as time allows, you know, so at the end of the meeting, somebody's not talking about something that we talked about 2 hours ago, and we have to go back and, you know, listen to it again, or, you know, what we do now is as the agenda item comes up, if there's somebody who has a comment, you know, typically we allow a comment, but I think this was more about, there's some places that don't necessarily allow somebody to come up and talk.
Can't do that.
No, you can't now.
There was.
But there right.
Certainly was, and, you know, I can see both sides, Lee.
Yeah, okay. Wait, Kurt, I can see the side. We have, on occasion, we have people that are yelling from the audience, which isn't appropriate, but once they say something, it's you can't say, no, you can't speak because you've already done it.
Which is on the flip side, you know, by having this policy in place that requires people not only to let you know that they want to speak, but also identify who they are, it creates a record of what occurs.
Yeah. I mean,
and I can see that this, like, you go to the bigger cities, that's important because here we know everybody.
Yeah. Typically, yeah. Well, you know, like the legislature in their committee hearings, you know, they have a time limit, and if somebody before you is saying pretty much the same thing that you say, you submit your written testimony, and you know, try not to repeat what was said previously 5 times over. I think that was maybe a thought behind this too, because sometimes when you hear the same thing over and over again,
well, there's good points.
Yeah, but
there's good reason to have it, but I don't think there's enough good reasons.
In general, we just have to allow public comment at every meeting starting in August, correct? I mean,
you can't prohibit public comment.
Right.
If it gets to be a problem, we can still implement it.
Or can we change it a little bit?
Sure. This is all your decision.
Let's table it then. If you come up, if you want to change it somewhat, and then we'll take into consideration the recommendations.
Okay.
Because I read through it and I liked it until I started thinking about it. The more I thought about it, I said it's right for us.
Well, right now, we've never not allowed anybody to speak.
No, we haven't.
So we're not out of compliance with all of this.
Let's think about it till next meeting, and then do it the majority of the commission.
I will add that to next month's agenda.
Budget amendment.
Okay, you should all have a copy in your folders of that. Sorry.
What is that?
We're just just in case.
Oh.
We've done this before. The first two lines are for the sheriff's department. One is to amend the budget for the vehicle purchases that you had approved at the June meeting.
Right.
We're just adjusting that line so it doesn't look like we're spending well over that amount, which we are allowed to do. And then the second line is an increase to the deputy sheriff's salary and pay line to account for overtime pay because we're now considered a 5-man department, as well as Jim's promotion to chief deputy, so his wage did increase there. We're just trying to cover our bases to account for those changes. And then the last 6 lines are for the decision that was made at the June 18th meeting to pay for Brittany's salary out of extension entirely. It's not the full amount because part of her pay has already been taken out of lead board for the year because that's where she was,
Right.
what she had been doing. Yep. So this is just for the remainder, pretty much the remainder of the year, for that pay amount. So.
That's just
Everything that has been discussed previously, this is just the formal paperwork that I need your approval on and your signature, so that way we can put it into the system.
So moved. Second. Okay, that motion second. All in favor? Aye.
Okay. And then we have transfer 2025-1, which is, this was approved at the December meeting. The remaining ARPA money was used to pay for general fund employees' health insurance. And we're just moving that money into the general fund to cover that specific dollar amount because otherwise it just kind of hangs out there and we need to use it because it's already been allocated. So, yep.
Okay, we need a motion.
Motion.
Second. Motion second, all in favor? Aye.
Those are the easy ones. When we've already talked about them, I just need to do the formal paperwork.
We have a search payment.
Okay, so we did approve that ARCA search, and we got the, we pay for 50% of the project down, which is $3,112. I just need to know where we are pulling that from because we don't have a specific line for this. We have that LATCF fund, and I'm wondering if you guys would be okay for this project to be pulled out of there.
Whatever works for your.
Okay. And that's kind of, when I got the bill, I'm like, well, this would be a good use of that money. We're preserving our commission meeting minutes. I talked to him and he's going to come and get the minute books and take them with him because the cost would have doubled if not tripled if they had brought everything up here. So didn't want to have to do that. So yeah. If you're good with it being pulled from LATCF, that's where I will code it and then get that bill paid. So.
You need a motion on that?
No, we shouldn't need it, because you guys already approved the project. I just need to know where to pull the money from, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there anything else that we need to discuss? Hearing none, are we done with everything on here?
We should be.
I think so.
I think we're done, yeah. Before 4 o'clock.
Meeting adjourned.
Awesome, thank you.
I do have something to sign there for the